All right, we are live. Uh, okay, you guys could hear me. That's good. You can't hear the music. Just gonna try to use AirPods. See if we can get these set up properly. Mm. Yeah, let's fix that music thing. AirPods here. It should work. Woohoo! Hey Maggie. Okay, I hear music, and I know you guys can't. There you go. Some music. Let's get this song. That's nice. Okay. All right. Let's make everything a little bit bigger for you guys. And let's record this video, this stream. Nice. The music isn't too loud, is it? I always ask. It actually looks a little loud right now. I'll lower it just a tiny bit. How's that? Too quiet? Too loud? It's a little bigger now. List. So last time, what did we end off with? Yeah, that's better, okay. Last time I think we ended off... I would lower it just a little more? Okay. Sometimes it gets a little loud, yeah. Love that. The things that I want to do today. So right now, let's just see what we have our drones doing. Dang. Music out loud again, it looks like. I guess the loud parts of the song are louder. I think that's probably better. It's just background noise. I don't really want it to be too loud. So what we got? We start this. A little racetrack. Let me restart this. It's being really slow right now, like it's frozen. Let me actually check out my computer stats. This is weird. Says it's using 28%, but that's a full looking bar to me. Alright, we're gonna have to in that manually. again. Hopefully that doesn't keep doing that. Up to date with the... Yeah. Trying to open it again real quick. Should work this time. It does take a little bit, so let's while that's happening, actually maybe it might do it quick. Let's figure out what we want to do today. So I want to improve the inputs to the neural network, because right now the drones aren't behaving well, and I think I have an idea as to why. It's because the inputs are just too complicated for them. That currently I think we're giving it like 9 inputs to maybe 12, I believe. I had some that I kept switching out, but I want to really narrow that down and make them more useful, because the less that the drone has to figure out, the better. So we're going to give it better inputs, and I have some ideas for how to do that already. And then these were some ideas. I wanted to give it rewards for just behaving more human-like, because right now whenever they learn how to fly all right, they always spin so much and they just learn a weird spinning strategy. So I want to give it a reward for looking at the target, but I also add a little note or in the direction of movement, because sometimes you don't want to fly directly towards your target. You want to like do a turn, so maybe just look where you're going instead of, because some of these drones just fly backwards to the side. They have no idea what forward is, because it doesn't really matter because it's a drone. So I want to give it a reward for just looking where it's going or at the target. So we'll work on that today. And this is a similar idea. Because they spin so much, I just want to give them a punishment for spinning too much. So that way they have to be more smart about turning. I won't make this too harsh, because I still want them to be able to learn how to turn as well as they want. Like if they want to turn a lot, if it helps them, I don't want to make them take bad turns, if you know what I mean. So this one I'll do with caution. I would like to visualize the training stats, but that might be next time. I say we start with these 3 for now. And if we get past them, we'll work on something else. Oh look, I already have this to do. I literally added this today, but I made this one like a month ago. So what's the punishment? It's basically just points taken off their score. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to give the punishment. I think I'm going to see how much they turn, and however much they turn, you subtract that much from their score. So really the best strategy would be staying still, but then also you also want to move to the target, so you just have to move a little bit, or as least as you possibly can, while also going to the target. Back for them to fly around. I basically did that. Did I? Where's the track? Did I finish that last stream? Gotcha, yeah. Just one last stream we had. Well, let's run this. Let's see what happens. So there's something wrong with the racetrack, because we did add a racetrack last time. It disappeared, which is kind of a bummer. So actually yeah, I worked on that on stream, didn't I? Oh well, we'll bring it back. I know what I want to do anyways. Should be in here. Should be in scenes, sample scene, and then just copy this. But I did edit it. So where did it go? It's not a big deal. Paste that in there. Oh, they're still the big cubes. Okay, so it knows some of the things we did the other day. Because we made these into squares, but we just have to space them out now. Okay. So it saved some of our progress. I also got rid of the road. I just turned it off. Just turn this off. Turn this off. And I turned the road off. We just have these pillars here. And I increased spacing by 1 to 1, I think. That's 10 to 1, so I a little space out. I did rotate this so that it started over here. I'll do it again. So this is basically the racetrack that I used to train the cars, but I just copied it on in here. So we could just have a track to start with to train the drones. I think I could actually delete a lot of these points because this is the big map. This is the big version of what I did last time. I'm freezing for you, very robot. I did hear my computer freak out a lot just a second ago. How about now? Better? Sounds better now. I wonder what that was. It must have been loading something. I gotta figure out how to limit how much resources certain things have on my computer. Because when Unity, that's why people have two computers. They have one streaming computer and then one gaming computer or not streaming computer. I may have to think about doing that with some old computer parts that I have. That could be a decent idea. Because then whatever you do on this computer won't affect the stream. But then you have to buy a capture card, and I don't want to do all that. Yeah, what was I? I was making this path, and if we start the drones now, it should work. But no, not yet. Because that variable is unassigned. What did I want that to be? Oh, it was this. So this generated, yeah, I did do this last time. Okay, so in scorekeeper, the racetrack are all of those cubes that you just saw. These things. Oh, I have to drag it in while I'm still clicking. Okay. Now we're all caught up to yesterday, and this should run. Is this screen big enough for you guys? I know the drones are really small, but I want to make this is good, as fun to view as possible. I can make that a lot bigger, actually. Okay. This camera, but I think I locked my rotation. Oh. Enable movement, enable translation, enable rotation. Okay, now I could look around. Okay, so I don't know if they're learning anything. It's giving me an error. Why? Take a look at our scripts. Saying we have a neural network script problem. Yeah, looks good. Thank you for being the checker of the stream. I keep asking if everything's looking all right. If you ever can't see anything, like head's in the way or something, let me know and I will move out of the way. So right here it's saying out of range. So I think we have 12. It says we have 12 inputs, which is usually what that error means. Like so the input nodes is how many inputs we're giving the network. But right now it's manual and I have this note to make automatic. So we should probably do that at some point, maybe now. So what I do is count how many inputs we have. And this is part of what I want to decrease. There's way too many inputs to this network, and I need to figure out how to fix that. I don't need 2 copies of that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Did I count right? Second guessing myself. 11's a weird number to have because I don't think I've ever done that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. Okay, so that number should be 11 instead of 12, and that's why we're getting error. I'm trying to get us to a point where we're not having any errors. There we go. No errors so far. Nothing. Cool. We can actually speed this up quite a bit as long as you're not worried about accuracy too much. So increase the game speed to 10. And since the round time's 10, it should be around every second. And you can see they got a score of negative 235. Why is their score so negative? Did I already do some of the rotation stuff? I might have. Songs. So they're training right now. It's a little tiny. Let's make it. So you can see their current score down here. You know, I actually like to put the console over here. I forgot. Just so we could have more room to see things. That didn't really help. So now this is big. Wait, did they swap? No. Now you can't really see the score, so you know what? Let's put the console back. I lied. Okay, so right now the best score is about 600. You can see that they're slowly learning. We could increase the copy chance. Everything's 10, that's kind of a coincidence. I just want to see if they could learn anything. So they're taking a while to learn. Let's take a look at one of the drones just to figure out what it's thinking. Okay, so here's the drone over here. Here's the information it has. See, these are the outputs of the network. And how many drones are there? Right now, I think there's 60. I would like to increase that number. But previously when I increased that number, it broke the simulation for some reason. So having more drones lets them train quicker because you get more chances at like randomness, like you get to try more possibilities. So really I'd like to have 100 at least. So we'll figure out why that isn't working. So right here, you see this throttle? It's negative. That shouldn't be a thing. We have to fix the outputs of these. I've actually seen these go really high as well. The pitch, the roll, and the yaw, but they're supposed to be between -1 and +1. So let's add that to our to-do list for today, because we'll do that. It's called clamping. The value is clamp. Network outputs, that would be. I just wrote that on the to-do right there. Yeah, they're actually doing pretty bad. Did we mess something up? I think that somewhere down here you could see their input, some of their inputs. The target position. So right now the target position is an input. That's what the drone sees, like how to go towards the target. and it has its current velocity, which appears to be wrong. Why is that 0 all the time? We'll look into that. That's an interesting idea. I think we should... I don't see all of the inputs here that the drone has, so we should visualize some more of them. Let's... So our inputs go in where I just counted them. Okay. So I do have the rotation to target. I did do that. Okay, that's what I added last stream. I want to see what those values are, because sometimes it's weird. So to do that, we make this public. And when something's public, it means you could see it in Unity. Let's just put it right at the top so we see it right away. Public. Rotation to target. And I have to find it again and get rid of this. Okay. So that's rotation to target. We noticed that the velocity was also 0. Where does that come from? So current velocity x. So we're giving it the current velocity in the x, y, and the z direction. That for a second. I wonder if we could just give it a velocity with like an angle. Instead of having it be 3 values, you could have it be 2. But that's still not that simple. Another thing about these velocities is when we're saying x, y, and z, it's in the world space. This is going to be a hard concept to understand if you don't get it, but basically, these x, y, and z's don't change if the drone turns around. So it's basically like if I tell you, oh, there's a target on your left, and then you spin around and I still say it's on your left, but really it's on your right now. That's what the drone's getting. So these inputs are actually really confusing because we need the local velocity. Like which direction is it moving with respect to itself? Like is it moving forward, backward, left, or right? Not is it moving X, Y, and Z? Because that's confusing for people to understand, so it's confusing for drones to understand as well. Like if it's confusing for you to understand, it's confusing for the AI. It's basically what I'm trying to say. So maybe just giving it velocity in general is better. I think we already have current velocity. Where is current velocity? Right here, current velocity. Is this used ever? It's not. So we say current velocity equals RB dot velocity dot magnitude. Yes, that's a thing. So the magnitude is basically the combination of all three of these. So it's just how fast are you moving, it doesn't matter which direction. And I think for now, I might change my mind on this later. But for now, we're going to get rid of these velocities and replace it just with current velocity. So that replaces 3 inputs to the network with 1. So I'll just keep that 1 current velocity and delete the rest. There we go. Yeah, comma. Matthew Mercado with the dabs. Hey. So what else could we simplify? So now we also have to go up to the top and change how many inputs we have, which I don't want to keep doing. So Why do we need that inputs number? Up here, input nodes. Where is this used? Right here. At the start, we have input nodes. Did we update that ever? We do, no, we copy the layers. I wanted to make this automatic, but I think it's a little complicated right now, so we still just have to count how many inputs we have to the network. I also want to print out all of our inputs. So that was what I was doing. I lost track of what I was doing. So rotation to target I want to be public, which I just did. And then that other current velocity is also public, because I saw it before. And these transforms.Euler angles. Transform.rotation.Euler angle x. And transform.y. This was my attempt at giving it the rotation, so it could figure out how to balance. So I was thinking, like, if you know how you're rotated, you could figure out how to hover and balance in place. I think those might need some fixing too. Then this is the distance to target, I think. Are these public? They are. All right, so we should be able to see most of our inputs except for these two. So let's just make it so we can see them. And I don't know why I don't have Z here. X, Y, and there's no Z. That's why we only had 11 instead of 12 inputs. Yeah, let's copy this. We don't need the whole thing. Oh no, we do. So I'm just gonna copy it and flip it out of here into a variable. So I'm gonna call it transform, or just rotation. Drone rotation. Rotate x equals this. I have to make the variables up at the top, but basically I'm going to do this for x and y and z. I'm going to do all three because it should really have all three. At least until I know which one's which. All right, we're almost getting to training again. I just have to make these up at the top so we can see them. Public. X, Y, and Z. And what will that do? Well, I'm trying to make it so we could see these numbers while the simulation's going, because right now I can't see them at all and I don't really know what's going on. So this is the rotation of the drone in the air. And I'm wondering what it does while they're flying around. So I'm just doing this so we could like diagnose what's happening. And I'm gonna replace it in here with those numbers, with those values instead. Drone rotation X, drone rotation Y, drone rotation Z. This other one, so I just replaced it. Oh man. Okay, I have to figure out why is it doing that? Oh, because I go to the next line. Okay, just really carefully stay on this line so it doesn't snap me over to the left. I feel it, you're supposed to not make lines this long. And it's probably annoying to watch on stream, it just keeps snapping back, but I'll fix that later. Okay, we can run it. Oh, but I have to count how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Double checking. All right, so now we have 10 inputs. We're narrowing it down, which is what I wanted to do. Restart the simulation. Now when we click on our drone, we'll have numbers to look at. They won't be very pretty. We'll have to like make sense of them. It's not this, not this, these. Yeah. Let's let them train for a little bit and then we'll look at the numbers so we can see once they start spinning and stuff. So let's increase this to 5. And let's relax for a minute. Train and we can watch it. They're learning to go up a little bit. Let me increase this to 10, the copy chance. The copy chance is how many copies of the best drone get made. So if you're in first place, now 10 copies will be made of the first place drone, if that makes sense. Before it was just 1 copy would be made of the first place drone, so it would take longer for them to learn because the best drone was being copied less often. And that's good. The reason you keep it this low is if you don't want the best drone to take over immediately. Because sometimes there's a few different strategies that just take a little while for the drones to figure out. But if the best drone eliminates all of the other strategies right away, then they don't have any chance to learn. So how come they all keep dropping? Because they didn't learn to fly yet. Now they're starting to learn how to fly. They're learning that going up is better than not. Oh, what's their target? Is their target the racetrack? Oh, it is. Okay. I was expecting them to go to the right because this used to be the first target, but now we added the racetrack in, so you can't see it. I want to make the racetrack visible. It's actually this is their target. Where's the first one? So this is their target. They're trying to come here. This one right here. Some of them are doing it, but I didn't want them to go for that actually. It's really far away. Last time I rotated this whole thing, I might do that again. Yeah, let's do that. I said we'd watch them train. You can see that the average is going up though. A little bit. They're at a score of 600. They had a score of 600 last time too. Oh, maybe that's why the score never improved really, because the target was so far away. Scores are negative, so I think I need to fix the rotation punishment I did last time, because I didn't even realize I did that last stream. Let's first move this target. So this first pillar right here is the first target, so I want that to be moved like where they start. Which one is it? It's really hard to see. Okay. It's this one on this turn. So this turn right here, that guy I want to move. Do that, I could select the whole bridge. And that guy could go there. I actually want to rotate it too. So I should probably rotate it first. Yeah, like that, and then move it. Okay, I think that's right. Save that, 'cause I bet last time I didn't press save, and that's why we lost some of the progress at the end of the stream. I need to get the autosave asset. I'm surprised that Unity does not have that built in. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? Just so I don't have to keep doing this each time. If you change something while it's playing, you have to keep changing it every time. But if you change it before, you don't have to keep changing it. So I'm just gonna change the game speed to 10. And maybe the round time to 20. It's only 2 seconds. Everything else looked good. Copy chance also 10, I was saying. That's a cool map. Yeah, it was the racetrack. You could actually see it if I turn it on. I could do that right now. Just for some reason accidentally. Where's the racetrack? It's right Here? I think this is it. Yeah, there it is. So I just took the racetrack and turned it into the drone map. I can move things and I can make it 3D. The racetrack is flat, but once I start adjusting the map, I can make it go up and down and around things. So it'll be cool. And it's cool that I could use the same tool that I used to make the racetrack to make this track. I don't want to make it super close targets though, so they could fly around better. That's gonna be insane to watch once they start going. Yeah, it is. Another thing, so I wanted to make those things visible all the time. So these cubes, I want us to be able to see them. And I'm actually thinking cubes are kind of a bad idea. I'd almost rather them be circles. Is that a bad idea? Sphere collider. Basically what I want. I want the radius to be 2. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, and then we could remove the box collider. Is there anything special about this? No. That should work though. You won't be able to work on things, LOL. What do you mean? Oh, to watch them? Yeah. I always stare at them, if that's what you're talking about. So now that we have that sphere collider, we'll give it an actual sphere. I don't know why I'm saying it's so weird. Let's give it 3D object. Here. Yeah, you'll be too busy watching them. Yeah, I will. So we want the radius to be 2, so it matches. Oh, not the collider. Oh, so this has its own collider as well. You know, I'll just delete this one. We don't need 2 colliders. So you don't get a radius on this. I think that has to be 4. Is that too big? No, it's actually perfect. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Do I want these to be see-through? Maybe I can make it a little see-through. Do I have glass? Glass would be cool. Glass. Can that actually work? I don't want it to be that hard to see though. Let's see what the glass looks like. That's interesting. On the glass I have? What's this? Glass. Let's see what that looks like in the game. Okay, so now when we go back to our scene, if we save this. Yeah, see-through is a good idea, so you can see the drone behind it. Exactly what I was thinking. So now these should switch to round things. Oh, that's actually really cool. Oh, that's sick. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. So I think this one's the first target. Whoa, I know, yeah. Pretty good for a first try on like something I was just throwing together. So the first one is the first one that they go for. So it's this guy. So we should see them go to this one. Eventually I'd want to color them differently based on where they're looking at. We could train them. I just want to train them a little bit so we could see what they're doing. So we can actually watch what they're doing while they're training. Okay. So right now they're not doing much, but Their rotation to the target is this. I'm trying to see if these things make sense. I'm gonna pause it real quick. I'm wondering which way the drones are pointing when they spawn. So right now. Which way are they facing? Are they facing forward? No, they're not. Wait, where's the camera? That's the camera, so they're pointing that way. They're pointing the opposite way that I was thinking. Okay. I could spin them around. Let's just do that. Where do they spawn in? Right now I'm just trying to spin them around. Thinking round handler. In the very beginning, I spawn them all in at this start position. The Quaternion. This identity? What does this mean? I hate Quaternions. I think I have to mess with the Quaternion. So let's just put a comma to see what it says. Quaternion rotation. Orientation of the new object. That's what we want. So now we gotta figure out. I think I could do angles instead. Quaternion dot Euler angles dot. No. No, maybe that doesn't work. What are our options for dot? What's a Quaternion? Honestly, nobody knows. Very few people know, and those people get paid a lot of money. Basically, it's like anybody that tries to make games knows that they're a pain, but you can learn them. I gotta sit down and use them. For a while, I've just been trying to avoid using them. That's been my strategy so far. Euler rotation dot. No. Yeah. Let's look something up. So let's see how to do this. Oh, I have way too many tabs open from last stream. Do we need anything? Not really. You know what, let's just make a new window. I'll probably get rid of this. To rotate object spawn in Unity. Rotate X, yeah, okay. Instantiate Quaternion, okay, it's Quaternion.Euler. Transform rotation times this, okay. So this is what we need. I don't know how that person knows that, but we're gonna trust them. Oh, it broke everything. Wow, okay. Is there too many quotes? Or parentheses? Yeah. So I don't think we want 90 this direction. I don't know which way we want, but either way we want 180 no matter what. But I'm not sure which X, Y is up. So if you're rotating about the up axis, so this is X, Y, you want 180 on the Y. So now when they spawn, they should be facing the way that the track is facing. Which really, I think the track's facing the wrong way, because it's pointing towards us, which is kind of weird. Usually when you go around a racetrack, you're always turning left. For some reason, usually. But anyways, let's see if they spawn in the right spot now. Or if that even works. Let's see if that works. Start and pause. That's it. I think they are. See that little controller? Yep. Okay, they're facing forward. Much better. Let's start letting them train. When I changed the camera lock, I didn't change it in while it wasn't playing, so I have to change it again when it's not playing. And I'm gonna forget. Let's watch some more. Plants end abruptly. I gotta fix that. Hey, there you go. One guy's flying. Wrong way though. Oh man, that one might have got points. You can see the high scores down here. So let's see some of these guys. I think the floor has to be a little lower so they don't learn to just crash into the ground like that. Yeah, that's the best strategy right now, is crashing into the ground. Not the best, not the best. I think I have to decrease the randomness a little bit. Let's look at what the drones see. So this drone's upside down. Okay, upside down. All right, so this drone right here, let's see what it's thinking, or what it's doing, and see if all the inputs make sense. A lot of them are actually flying. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so this one is facing the wrong way. It's supposed to be looking at the target that way, so it should rotation to target. It says the X is 290. Is that true? Y is 50. So I'm realizing something also right now. The Y rotation is really the only one that matters, because remember I was saying like the Y rotation is the up and down rotation. So basically if you imagine a pole that's up and down going through the drone, if you spin it and the drone's on it like a skewer, that would be the Y axis. So if you want the drone to look at the target in left and right, that's the Y axis. So only the Y one really matters. You don't care if the drone tilts. That's what the other axes are. The X and the Z is how tilted the drone is. So the drone is going to have to tilt forward to go to the target. So you don't want to actually looking straight at the target, or else it will just not fly forward, because it has to tilt forward to move forward. So maybe only giving it the Y axis. But we have to give it the Y axis with respect to the drone, because I'm thinking that this is weird. This is confusing stuff. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So right now, look at that. That is 300 degrees. That should not happen. Because that's basically saying you need to do a full, almost a full 360 to look at the target, when really it means instead of looking right a little bit, you should go left. This should be negative 55 instead of 304. So it should say look left 55 degrees instead of, yeah, it should be look left 55 degrees instead of look right this much. It means the same thing. It means look that way. But the 300 is confusing the network. So let's fix that real quick. That would be in the network itself, I think. Target position Y. No, target rotation. Rotation to target Y. This one. So the front is where they look from. They don't actually care. They don't have an idea of what the front is, but I'm trying to give them that idea, because they actually have a real camera on the front of the drone. And I want to be able to look at this camera and not have it make me sick. Because right now, the way that they fly is they don't care where the camera's pointing, but I want the camera to point where they're flying, like a real person would. I think if we turn on the camera, oh, this can. go here, and turn off this camera, and turn on this camera. Okay, so this is what one of the drones is seeing. Yeah. That's a interesting angle. Yeah, okay, so that's what they see. So I want them to look where they're going instead of flying sideways, which is basically what it just did just now, flew sideways. It will take them a while to learn to fly forward, so in the beginning they'll fly random directions still. Once they start learning how to fly around the track, I want them to go forward. You don't want to look at that every time. Where'd the camera go? I actually don't know where it went. Weird. Let's just disable it though. Did it like hop onto a drone? The camera was right here when I enabled it, but there must be something in the script that makes it jump to the object that it's on. Which is weird. Where did the camera go? Now I just disabled it, so I'll never find it. Hopefully it comes back. But anyways. Yes, let's fix that rotation. Okay. That's what I was doing. I was looking at this rotation Y, and basically it should never be greater than 180 or negative 180, because 180 means directly behind you. So turn around, doesn't matter which way, you can turn left or turn right, it's behind you. Well, really negative 180 or close to negative 180 would mean look left, and then close to positive 180 would mean look right. So right now, I think the numbers are only positive. So what we need to say is if the number is greater than 180, make it the negative degrees instead of 300 and something. So we literally type if, oh wait, where do we populate this? This is not where I'm programming. Wherever I use this, I need to do this. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah. All right. Drone rotation. That's what it was. Not the other one. Okay. So this, I believe, is what we were looking at. Drone rotation X. Make sure that's what it is. Yeah, drone rotation. No, rotation to target. That is a thing. Okay. Let me go check that again. It should be right at the top. Rotation to target. It's right here. This is where we use it. Okay. Rotation to target. Oh, so I'm just putting it right in here directly. That's why I can't find it. I have to do what we did before, where I made these X, Y, and Z values. Basically the same exact thing, but for rotation to target. So you know what? I might actually just steal this. Just copy and paste it. Cute dog. So we have to make this rotation a target, all of these things. So I can do it all at once, basically. We have to make all these up top, so we might as well just do that now. We have to make them public like I did with the other ones. Actually, I don't need these public. Oh, no, I should. I'll make them public so we can make sure it's working. Public float. That. Oh, that's not how you spell float. There we go. So those three are going to be there, and we're going to be able to see those when we run it. But now we have to fix that problem where it was becoming too much. Replace all these with that. So let's take one of them for now. So these, oh wait, no, I need to use these. So this is going to replace this. Oh, I just copied instead of pasting. All right, this goes here. Just put them all here and then change the Y and Z. Okay, X, Y, Z. Okay. But we actually need logic before we get to this step. So we're saying if rotation of target X is greater than 180. So if it's greater than 180, that means it should really be negative instead of, because 300, when it was saying 300 and something, that means it should be negative. So it should be, so rotation to target X should equal, I believe it is rotation to target dot X, which is the original one, minus 360. Let me think about that. If it was 300 and then you subtract 360 from it, it becomes 60. So yeah, that's what we want. We want it to be negative 60 instead of 300. So subtracting 360 does that. And we want to do this for all of them. So X, no, it's going to be Y, and then Z. This is going to be capital Y, lowercase y, capital Z, lowercase z. All right. So now we do is otherwise, if it isn't, so if it's positive, we don't want to subtract 360 from it. And right now we're not doing anything. We're gonna get rid of these down here. But basically, we want just this without the minus. So if it's greater than 180, we make it negative. And if it's not, we don't do anything and we just take it as is. So we're gonna do that else for all of them. Y and Z. Okay, I did want to divide it by 180. Could they do that here? I could do it over here. Oh, we do divide it by 360. Okay, so we're going to change this to rotation to target, our new value of X. Instead of dot, these values, these are the ones we made. And then before I was dividing by 360 because I knew that the number could be anywhere from 0 to 360, I guess. But now the numbers cannot be greater than 180, so we only have to divide by 180. How come you are dividing it by 180? Okay, that is a great question. Neural networks like all of the inputs to be in the same range. If one number is much bigger than the rest of the inputs, that number will outweigh the rest. So the good practice for your inputs is to make them always be in between 0 and 1. So this makes sure that happens. So no matter what, the rotation will always be in between 0 and 180, and when you divide it by 180, it makes it between 0 and 1. And that just helps the network understand that all of these inputs are equally important. So for the current velocity can be greater than 1, obviously, because if it's going like 20 miles per hour, that's 20, and it's much greater than 1. It turned out velocity was actually having a big impact on things, I remember. So I actually divided that by 1,000. Oh, I didn't do it with the new one. It's a good thing you said that. So that new magnitude that we just added before should be divided by at least 100, but I'll do 1,000 just to be safe. Oh, I forgot to... Oh, thank you. Forgot to change in the else statement. You are very right. Why? That would have made me come back here. Let's see. Let's double check everything. XXX, YYY, ZZZ. Okay. Thank you for that. Good catch. Oh, and you know what? I feel like this is so sloppy how much if and else statements I have, but I don't really know a way to make these loops. Unless I loop over 3 things at a time. Because I'm thinking we're going to have to do the same thing for this rotation as well. Because it's working the exact same way. It's getting the Euler angles of this. And so it's doing the same negative problem as well. Is this C#? Yes, this is C# and Unity, which mostly uses C#. I think you can use JavaScript as well, but I've never done that. Or I think you can, yeah. Most people just use C# for Unity though. Okay. Oh, that's wrong. Okay. So what are we using this for? These are inputs as well. So this is the drone rotation. Drone rotation. I think I have to fix these. You don't need the else if you set it first and only override if it's greater than 180. Yeah. Good point, good point. Either way, I'm going to need to do this for all 3 of them. But I don't need any else statements. You know, I'll do that. It's a good idea. I'm not sure if that's better or worse performance-wise, because then you're definitely doing it twice. Whereas previously you're only setting the value once. It was just before the if statement, but it does look nicer to look at. So we'll keep this one. I'm not in the performance stage yet, if I ever will be. Okay, so let's do the same exact thing for this guy. I probably shouldn't divide by 360 yet. And yeah, okay, so we're gonna remove these. We'll just do the same thing that we just did above. So we'll keep these here, and then after it, we'll do this. Having only coded in Java and Python, watching you C# is so interesting. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've used I'm actually just getting started with Java now, so I'm gonna be refreshing on that for work. And then I've made some projects in Python before. I made like a jump cutting project completely in Python that would edit videos for me. I never made a video for that. I know after one of my evolution simulator video, I promised I would release the jump cutting software with a video, and I actually filmed the entire video and edited it. It's uploaded to YouTube. I've shown it to a couple of people that were interested in the software, but I never actually finished it. I'd say it's like 90% done, and I don't know why I just never finished it. It's because I had to do the finishing touches on the software, not the video, and I just got sidetracked. I really should do it though. It's so close to being done that I need to make that. That's a side tangent that just Python reminded me of. But I'm actually pretty new. I guess I'm not new to Unity anymore. It's been like a year. I can't say that excuse anymore. I'm still figuring Unity out, I'll say. Unity is the only reason I use C#. I haven't really done it for anything else. Okay, so we have to change all these names. So this. Trouble again with the Y's and the Z's. Okay, so that should work now. This is still not. Oh, I have to do that for all of these. Okay. Let's take this part then. Okay. Now I think we're ready. I have to divide by 180 now. Because our inputs, as I just said before, like to be in between 0 and 1. So I'm thinking that these rotations are actually going to be a problem that we need to fix more, because as with the fix earlier, I fixed something earlier that was the rotation in world space, but really we want to figure out the drone's rotation with respect to itself. So if the drone turns and it's facing a different direction, it should know it's tilting to the left or tilting to the right, instead of I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, but I know that it's a problem. I know it's a problem that we're using the rotation with respect to the ground, but not with respect to the drone itself. So if it turns, it messes up its orientation, basically. It loses its understanding of where it's standing. In my mind, that makes sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. That might be tricky. But for now, let's just make sure everything's working. And let's also look at our to-do list. Are we keeping on track with anything? Kind of just been doing random things. Oh, I have to do that still. I have to clamp the network outputs. We're still improving the inputs to the network, basically. I'd say most of our stuff has gone under that category. So we'll say that's in progress. Give reward for looking at target. I think I did one of these the last stream, so we'll have to see what I did there. Okay. Oh. What happened? Oh, okay. Oh wait, before I start, I want to unlock my camera. Because I can't enable rotation. Okay. It's not gonna move around in the game view because I added an asset that lets me just float around. Okay, here we are. Much nicer. So it's kind of weird the way it controls my mouse, but okay. Let's look at the drone's values now. So the rotation to target X, now they're negative. Before they were 3 something, which didn't really make sense. So now it means turn left instead of turn all the way around. Oh wait, but is that right? Should that be negative that much? Maybe it is. Why is that negative? Let me see these targets. So these guys are spawned in. They're pointing that way? Oh wait, now they're pointing the wrong way. I thought I fixed that earlier. Did I break it earlier? So the drones are all pointing the wrong way when they spawn still? Maybe. So that makes sense though. Rotation to target Y is negative 175, which is basically turning all the way around, and they're facing the wrong way. So that makes sense. That's why I thought it was wrong, because I didn't think they were actually turned all the way around, because I just thought I fixed that. Maybe I didn't actually fix that. Let's go to round hand. Oh, I know what I did. So when I'm creating the objects, I am setting the rotation. So the very first round, the rotation's correct. But I'm gonna need to do this when I reset the objects. So somewhere in between each round, I reset the position of all the drones. Reset drones right here. Rotation equals quaternion identity. We do not want that anymore. We want this, I think. Oh, but it's going to take the current rotation. So maybe we want quaternion identity here. That identity times that. That should work. Okay. Sorry, I keep not being able to train these guys because I noticed little problems. But that's programming for you. Think something's easy and a bunch of little problems pop up that you didn't even think about. Okay. So now they should be facing the target. Oh, I didn't even press play. But that's okay. I wasn't really training them. So my goal is, by the end of this stream, I'll have trainable drones and I'll let them train overnight. And we could look at them tomorrow or the day after. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm trying to stream much more consistently. This is my second stream in like 3 days. You love watching the training? I'm sorry, I know I'm trying to get there. Do you restart it every time? Right now, whenever I press pause, I am restarting it, but I do have the ability to save the brains if I do a lot of training. But right now I'm just trying to set everything up before I actually start really training them. I'd like the load system to be a little better, like the saving and loading the brains, because right now it's a little manual. Okay, well, let's pause it and see. Let's pick a drone, pause it, and do what we did before, where we like inspect what it should be seeing. So all of the drones are pointing forward right now, so I would assume rotation of target is good. So as I said earlier, yeah, rotation of target X is not useful. Basically, that means how much does this blue line have to rotate to look at the target? And it's saying negative 56, so it means it has to rotate like this. But then the drone would be flying backwards. So what's the point in even giving it that information? I really shouldn't. So we'll fix that, okay? I'm just gonna add it to a to-do list. There's this concept that I used to do called a distraction list, where instead of going ahead and doing the thing that distracts you, you write it down and then you do it later. And it frees it from your mind. So I have to start doing that while I stream. So this is my distraction list idea. So it is remove X and Z rotation to target. All right, good. I used to actually use a real notebook as a distraction list, like with a little blue notebook. It'd just be my distraction list. I should start doing that again. It was actually kind of useful. Stream stats. It's going good. All right. Hey, look at that guy. He learned how to fly. So what else do we need to look at? We have the rotation of target and the drone rotation itself. So let's inspect the drone rotation. This guy, because he's cool. He's actually floating. So if we look at the drone rotation, these three values right here. Pretty good flying, yeah, this guy is. Okay, so the drone rotation Y is saying he is turned around. It's saying he is 180 degrees spun around. But that shouldn't mean anything. Like, if the target's in front of him, he should care that the target's in front of him. He has no idea where he should have started, basically. Like, this rotation number doesn't make any sense. Especially in the y-axis, but all of these kind of don't make sense. Because they're the rotation... they're the world space rotation, which is why this is turned around. When really, y should always be 0, because we always want to be looking forward, technically. We want the x and the z to represent our leveling. So the x should always be this way, basically. Okay, so here's an example of what I mean. So if we tilt the drone forward, okay, so up here is also the world rotation. It's the same numbers, it should be. These won't update because it's not playing. But you can see here the x rotation is 37, which is good. Because that means that the drone is tilted forward, and that's what I want to see. But let's say the drone is still tilting forward. So I'm just gonna level it out. Let me just redo what I just did. So it's level again, but what if it's looking this way and tilting forward? So the drone's still tilting forward, but it's looking a different direction. Does that make sense? Is that doing what I think it does? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it works. Maybe I'm making no sense at all. Huh. Okay, so this is still working. Oh wait, no, but the y is changing a lot. Why is the y-axis changing? Oh, you know what? Maybe these numbers are right, but these numbers will be wrong. I think that's what's gonna happen. Okay, let's just redo what I just said. Let's do the first example. Sorry, I'm just trying to prove to myself what's going on. So I think if we turn it and then tilt it, we want these numbers. We want it to say, oh no, what did I do? Okay, I see what's going on. I'm not rotating the right thing. Maybe that's why it wasn't working. Let's click on the drone. I want to rotate the whole entire thing. So if I rotate it forward like that, okay, but what if I spin it? So the spinning is the y-axis, and then I rotate it on the x-axis. Okay, so we want this number. We want the x to be the actual rotation, and the z should be this. But let's see if we get that down here with the drone rotation stuff. Yeah, we get the same numbers. Am I crazy? For some reason, y is negative 76 when it should be negative 76. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe these do work right. I'm crazy. Okay, let's just watch them fly. I think so. I thought it was in world space. Maybe it's not. But the Y definitely isn't useful for them. They should be learning faster than this. especially with one of them doing so well. The rest of them should be following along. Oh, we lost the only one that was doing good. Okay. Let's keep them, no. Let's leave them training, yeah. But let's clamp the values of our outputs. And also we will remove the X and Z rotation to target, right? Since we're in here. That would be in the normal script. So the rotation to target. Oh, the only thing that matters is the Y. All right. And this, the Y doesn't actually matter. So it's the opposite. For looking at the target, the Y is the only thing that matters. The rotation to the target. But in terms of the drone rotation, the only thing that matters is the X and the Z, because that's where you're tilting, and the Y is you're spinning. So it doesn't really care if it's spinning. It cares if it's tilting, because we're trying to use these values to make it learn how to level itself if it needs to, so it could fly straight or hover, basically. And these, okay, so these values are bad. X distance, Y distance, and Z distance. Because we don't want X, Y, and Z. We want maybe just distance. Distance in general. Because we're giving it the angles to the target. So if it knows to look at it, it just needs to know how far away it is. Where are these? I'll think about that one. Changing that. I'll add it to my distraction list. Possibly change the distance X, Y, and Z. Okay. Oh, okay, so I changed my inputs to the network, but I didn't change the size. I have to fix this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're narrowing it down though. That's what I was. That was one of my goals, was to make it less complicated. So now we're down to 7 inputs only. And I'm planning on turning 3 of them into 1, so it'd be down to like 5. Velocity. So yeah, if I turn these 3, we'd have 5 total. We could do that. Does the rotation target have a magnitude? No, not rotation target. Does distance to target. So if I go distance to target dot magnitude, yeah, sick. So I can just give that the input to our network instead of those 3, and I'll just do that now since it's easy enough. Okay, and we're gonna divide that by, I believe, 100, or I had a max distance value, so I can change it if I want. Okay, so now we're down to 5 inputs, which is very, very good, and I actually think that the drone might learn some pretty cool stuff now. Let's run this. I wish you could see which target they're targeting. But it would be specific for each drone too, so it'd be hard to visualize it unless you were focusing on a single drone and what its target was. You could just show the furthest target reached maybe, and it would be none right now. Okay, so that one learned to go forward a little bit. Okay, we got a hover. Oh no. They can't get any points. They're crashing into the balls. They're supposed to go through them. That's the collider. Okay, hopefully this is the last thing we fix before we... Right here, you get pillars. The sphere... Oh no. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this collider is trigger. That means things go through it and it triggers when it goes through it instead of not, basically. Was I able to change that on the fly? No, I have to restart it. Okay. I think it still says is trigger. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see it now. Oh boy. Okay, maybe I should save one of these brains just so we don't have to keep doing the few rounds in the beginning each time. Save us some time. But I do keep changing the inputs, so that means the networks will change as long as I keep changing the inputs. But I think we're done changing the inputs for now, unless I see something very wrong. I'd like to put the score on the screen itself, so that way I could full screen it, and it won't, we can still get the information we need. Let's fly down. Okay, so there's one other thing that I wanted to do. So you see these scores are all negative in the beginning, or they can be negative. I'm giving them too much of a punishment for rotating. I don't want to fix it right now, but I do want to fix it because they shouldn't be getting that punished for rotating. What we'll just look at it, but I won't. While they're training, we could look at it, and then I won't change it though, unless it would be on the drone itself, the punishment. Oh. You see this divided by 5, or modded by 5? That's how many targets there are, or there were only 5 targets, so I was doing this so it would loop around, and after it went through 5 targets, it would go back to the first one again, and keep going through all 5 targets as many times as it wants. But now we have way more than 5 targets, because we have the whole track. So really I need to figure out how many oh, so it's the target list. So I need to figure out how many are in the target list. So it's the target list dot count, dot size, dot length, dot length. That should work. It might be off by 1. We'll find out later. When I'm wondering, why isn't this working? It's because we're off by 1 here. Okay, that was also here, but I don't think it's used anywhere else. I don't want to press save yet, because if I press save and then I go back to the training, they restart. I want to see if they can figure anything out. They aren't figuring stuff out. I think it's because if they tilt, they get punished. Okay, the game speed's too high. Maybe the difference between them, you know what, let's make the ground a lot lower. Oh, wrong way. Wait, why is it doing that? Going up when I make it negative and positive. Okay, the ground's being weird. Oh, that's the size of the ground. Okay, I wanted the position. That's why it was getting thicker, not moving down. I just wanted to move the ground down. The trees won't move, but oh no, what happened? Okay. I love these clouds. I might use that in like everything that I make. They're a little fast. Oh, it's because I sped up the game. That's why they're moving faster. Okay, we should see the scores improve now. They don't. Maybe we need more randomness. 0.5. Let's look at these guys. What are their inputs? Because usually they learn this much quicker. How come they aren't clear anymore? What do you mean? They are. Oh, maybe you saw like I was looking down one of the rows and didn't look clear. The ground is a little weird that the grass and stuff is still there. Okay, now they're learning some stuff. But yeah, you see their score's actually going down the more they fly, which means that the punishment is not good. There's a strong punishment that I need to fix. Oh yeah, now it is. Yeah, so this right here, I'm punishing them for rotating because I didn't want them to rotate too much, but this is way too strong of punishment if it's overpowering everything else. I think I still want it, but let's divide it by 1,000 because we just want it a little bit. Okay. So if they're spinning really crazy, they get some punishment, but it's not going to be very much. Sadly, that does mean we have to start over the training. But we needed to anyways for the targets. Let's make sure everything's sped up nice. We'll give them... So now they don't start with a negative score, you see that? And they're actually learning to fly quicker. I think that was the problem. I think that punishment was, yeah, way too much for them in the beginning. Okay, and they got really high scores. That means that they went through one of the targets. The targets are like 100. The targets give you 100,000 point bonus for each one that you hit, and then it also exponentially increases the score that you get per second, which is going to be a problem. Why are they going so high? Why'd they do that? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm pressing the spacebar to make the camera go up, but I still have control over all the drones, I'm realizing. Because I guess spacebar is also the throttle. Wait, so does that mean that me going left or right does that too? I don't think so. Oh well, stop pressing buttons so they could train. Because I messed them up. The reason they're going down. Why are they doing this? This is very weird behavior, but it's because maybe I was pressing the button. Oh, I changed their mutation rate to 0 on accident. I must have been pressing buttons. Yep, okay, there we go. Let's make that less, because that's too much. Alright, now we could just sit back and watch them. I'm just going to watch them from this angle instead. So I don't use my keyboard, but the scene view is better. So they got a 3,000 score, which means one of them hit 3 targets. It looks like they're kind of learning to go forward. Maybe. That looks awesome. Thanks. It is pretty cool. I do like watching the drones train. They are learning a not so great strategy of just smashing into the ground. Oh, but some of them... Getting 300 consistently. Oh, one of them just like flew down the whole track. Some of them are, but they're not doing it on purpose yet, because you'd see them hit more targets if they're doing it on purpose. Okay. I think we might be at a point where I could let this train. So we can work on other things in the stream, and then I'll train them later. Like we'll set up some more stuff before I start training them. I wish I could leave this training on the side and also work on the same project at the same time. I wonder if I could do that. I could duplicate the entire project. Like I could make a second copy of it. Have 2 Unity windows open. Is that too much? Is that extra? Maybe. It'd be cool to... I want to make a networked version of this where everybody could train it together. Saying that since I made the evolution simulator that I want to do that, so everybody could train things at once. So far I have never done it. So I need to make a database and link it into Unity. I'm not sure if they're actually learning though. You know, let's change the game speed to 5, just so we can give them a chance to see what they're doing. Okay, so they're just smashing into the ground and then flying. Not too much what? Oh, that's making a copy. It is hard to tell because this is only 100 rounds. I don't want to make you guys stare at this for a while, but I do want to see if they are struggling because of something. Let's watch some of their inputs. You know what? Let's go to real time. Actually, no. We'll let them train. I'm just gonna let them train. I have faith that they'll learn something. Let's take the whole floor this time. Move everything down, just so they don't crash into the ground right away. I want to give them a chance to learn how to fly. Like that. Yeah. So now they're flying a little better. But now you can see that my trees end better because we're higher up. So the ones that don't learn how to float will get a much lower score now. Whereas before they were being held up by the floor, so it was keeping their score high. But now they won't get rewarded for like sitting on the floor as much because it's so much further away. Because they get points for being close to the targets for any reason. Really, I should really just basically give them a 0 score if they hit the ground, because that's just like a fail, like you crashed. I should give them a penalty for crashing, basically. Because that strategy of just falling into the ground is not fun to watch. And I think it gives them a bad habit as well. Because now they can't unlearn it. Where if it wasn't there in the first place, they probably wouldn't have learned it at all. Because they learned that falling down and crashing on the floor gives them a score, basically. Now they're learning to float again. They're unlearning it. They look like fireflies or something. It's kind of funny. I want to make watching this more entertaining for people. Like, not just us right now. I'm just saying, like, in general, I want this, like, I feel like they're a little small. Should I make them bigger? I think they'll still fly the same. They do look like fireflies. You should make them different colors. That's a good idea. I wonder how I can make them different colors. So there's one of them hit 4, so it's the new high score. You can see that the best score ever is the same as the high score, so that means that one was the best score ever. But they're obviously not getting a penalty too much for rotating, because they're rotating a lot. I want them to just swoop through this and go to the left. Maybe I should restart it with the floor lowered first. Would you guys mind if I did that? Because I know we just trained for like 100 rounds and it's probably a little boring. Oh, but one of them hit 5 targets. Maybe we'll give him a little bit longer. Oh, he went away. Because I think they learned a bad strategy in the beginning, and now they're having a little bit of trouble unlearning it. You know what? Let's just restart it. I don't want to restart because they're doing so good, but I think they'll do better if I restart it. So, executive decision. We're restarting it, and I'm lowering the floor from the start so they don't learn that strategy. Let's see if that works. Start the other view. Okay. Yeah, so most of them learned to fall first, and then they start to learn how to fly. They're doing this much quicker than before because we had some issues with the punishment being too strong for rotating. Okay, we already got them flying as good as they were before, where they're hitting like 2 of the targets. I think if we decrease this right now to 0.05, it'll prevent them from going so fast, and they'll learn smaller movements. No, let's just make this 0.01. Is that too small? Let's increase the round time to 30 as well. Okay, so the scores are going up. The score is going to go up a lot right now because, oh, that didn't go up too much. For some reason, once they get far away, they freak out. Why are they freaking out? Let me see what's going on there. I want to see what's happening to their inputs. So right now, distance to target. Something's gonna switch when they get really far, and I'm wondering what it is. So when they get really far, oh no, I don't want to see the game view. I guess we'll just look at the game view. No, I don't want the game view. I can't just unpause it without doing that. Oh, if I move it away. Okay. Yeah, right there, they get something happens. Maybe the distance to the target becomes greater than, oh, it becomes greater than 100, and we did something with 100 specifically. Because I'm guessing that distance to target of these values adds up to 100. Like the magnitude thing that we did. But would that actually do anything? Let's see. I'm just gonna look to see what we're doing here. We got distance to target. Magnitude. What these are past our inputs. Oh, I couldn't see the inputs because it doesn't go off the screen anymore. I'm used to it being longer. Okay, so magnitude, distance to target dot magnitude divided by distance. Okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but we'll see. Sometimes they just learn weird things. But for some reason, when they get really far away, they just all do that at the same time. Which is really strange. Why are they doing that? I'm extremely confused as to why they're doing that. Oh, well, they're all very, very similar. Similar. Because maybe that's why they're all doing the same thing. Yeah, they look a little bit less identical now. Okay. It's because they were all so similar that they all had the same networks. I guess I made them too similar. So they weren't really learning anything. Oh, I didn't want to make it that random. I wanted 0.05. Let's fix that quick before they... Alright, let's let these guys train for a minute. Oh, so one of them hit 6 just now. 5. Oh, someone figured it out. That's pretty cool. Let's look at it more top-down view so we can see what's going on. Some of them, yeah, they're like hitting a couple, I think. It's hard to tell if they're actually hitting it or not. But some of them do like to make this curve shape. And the score is consistently going up. You can see the moving average. The moving average is like the last 10, is the average of the last 10 scores. So as long as this is going up, you know that they're learning, kind of. It's a good indicator that they're learning. As long as this is going up, because that means the average score has been going up consistently. Oh yeah, they're flying. Cool. Let's see if they could learn a turn. I don't know if it's even possible. So a problem with having this many targets is this score is going to get way too big. And I know that's going to be a problem. But I could save the brain, change the scoring system, and they'll still know how to fly. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not sure if they learned how to fly or if they just learned a pattern. I think eventually they'll learn how to fly if we give them more time. Sometimes letting them be more random helps. I'm just gonna let them be as random as they want. It might look like they're learning less, but they figure out more connections when they're more random. It's less likely for them to do well, but it's more likely for them to figure out an actual strategy, if that makes sense. If you only change them a little bit at a time, they actually figure out patterns instead of strategies. Definitely looks better. They are pretty cool. Let's see if I could just make them all bigger, just to see what it would look like. If I change the scale of all of them to 3 by 3 by 3. Oh, okay, that's a little big. Let's just double the size of all of them. Does that mess with their flying? I think that's better to watch because now you can actually see them. But I don't think it affects their flying. Maybe it does. Is it changing the weight of them? No, the scores are still the same. Okay. So I could change the visuals of them without changing the behavior. I don't know if that's better though, because now it makes the track look really small, but it's actually not. And they're actually moving much faster. Oh, the reason it's so hard to watch them and we have to zoom out so far is because we sped it up so much that they move so fast, so I have to do a zoomed out view instead of following them. So for now, I'll leave him pig for us right now, but it won't stay that way once I unpause it. Got the headphone dying warning. Really should just use one at a time, not really too much. Okay, well, I'm at 7. I know we're not doing anything right now, but you said you wanted to watch me watch them train. I'll what can I do? I could try to put this on the screen while we work on something else. So at least plan what we're working on next. This, we shrink this down to the side. Oh, we have to clamp the network outputs, yeah. I do have to do that. Okay, so let's let them train while we think about what we're doing. We are up next. What's up next? Give punishment for rotating too much. We already have that, so that's done. Give reward for looking at the target. I think that could help them train, because right now they don't really know where to look. That could help them figure it out. Possibly. Wow, we're almost approaching the 2-hour mark already. That's my goal. I'm gonna try to stream like 2 hours nearly every day, at least multiple times a week. And I'm not gonna try to overdo it with like 4-hour streams, because then I just don't want to do it again. So I think 2 hours is a decent end point. So we'll spend a few more minutes planning, I guess, the next stream. And then I'll let these guys train, because I think we're at a point where they could figure this out with like a couple thousand rounds, which is obviously going to take longer than what we could do here, since they're only at 100. So I'll just let it run overnight, save the brain, and actually I should turn on autosave. It's been a great stream so far, thanks. I feel like we got a lot done this stream. I mean, look at it, it's nearly there. I feel like I could put this in a YouTube video and it'd be like enough. I'm gonna make a bunch of YouTube videos for this, I think. Normally for a project I make like one main video for it, but this one has had so many pieces so far, and it's gonna have so many more pieces in the future, that I should really just do small pieces at a time. What I wanted to turn on automatic saving. That's a setting that I put in. So what should we call this file? The files that it saves. I could give it, you know what, I should start using the date. I really should. I should almost have it be automatic. The file name should be, no, but I like the information too. Okay, not the date. I'll say, racetrack. Yeah, sure, racetrack's fine. Racetrack V1. And then you turn on autosave and it will automatically save every 100 rounds, I think. That's actually a little bit too many. I'll just save it later, tomorrow. Or I'll turn this on later on once they start training. Actually, I do like having every round, so we'll do it. Every 100 rounds, I think. Oh, one of them hit 8. I think they figured something out. Maybe it was an accident, because they're just flying randomly, it seems like. How could they possibly be hitting more targets? I'm not sure what they're doing. Somehow they're getting a lot of points, though. Okay, so let's keep planning. We're doing good. Remove this. I did that. Improve the inputs of the network somehow. I'd say we did that a lot. We had 12 or 11 inputs when we started the stream, and now we're all down to 5. And they're actually more meaningful inputs, I'd say. So the drone will be a lot less confused, but it's really getting the same information, but it's just condensed more for it. I'm not telling it to do anything. I'm just giving it useful information, and then it's going to figure out what to do with it. How are they getting so many points? Got a score of 14. What are they doing? Oh no. Wait a minute, they are learning how to fly. Okay, I thought one of them was abusing the rotation system. Oh man, they actually really just learned how to fly. Like, look at that. The scores just immediately shot up a ton, and they learned this weird... They're not flying, but they're spinning and hitting targets. That's actually crazy. Okay, so they figured out a system. I was about to end it. I'm going to end it real soon. End the stream. We just hit... Oh no, we're 5 minutes to 2 hours. I got 5 minutes. Let's decrease the randomness now that they've learned strategy, so they could optimize the strategy that they learned. And you know what, let's increase the round time to 120. So they'll be able to go 4 times as far if they can. I just want to see if they can make these turns and stuff. Yep, they're going. No way, that's actually really cool. Okay. Good stream, I'd say. Look at that. That's cool. They're actually getting faster already. But you see these scores? The high score is 4.1 e to the 15. That's like more than trillions, I think. So it's because each time they hit a target, their score per second increases exponentially. So each target they hit, it's going up a ton. Nice stream, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to do these more often. I've said it in the past that I was going to, but I actually think I'm going to stick to my word this time. So hopefully either tomorrow or Friday, I'll have another stream. I'm going to try to do at least 3 a week. But this is some good progress. I'm just going to let these guys train, and we'll see if they learn a better strategy than this spinning one, or if we're going to have to give them a little bit better rewards to encourage more human-like behavior. I think we're going to have to do that, and I'm also going to have to change the scores for sure. Let's decrease the time so they can't get that high of a score, but they could still learn. Because if the scores get too high, it actually says infinity instead of actually giving it a score, and they won't be able to learn because of that. So let's I forgot what I was doing before. I was gonna plan for the next stream a little bit, but then they started learning, so I just got sidetracked. They actually figured it out. I'm really happy with that, because I've tried to train these drones a lot, and they haven't learned that quickly ever. So I think simplifying the inputs was a very good thing we did today. And we could actually get them to learn some cool stuff now. Definitely have to clamp the network outputs. I forgot to do that today. I might even do that off stream. It's really quick. I just have to make sure that the outputs of the network are not outside the range of what the drone could handle, because it actually could override the values of the drone. So if the throttle's only supposed to be between 0 and 1, but I think it only works with negative numbers. So if we give it a negative throttle of negative 1,000, it'll actually fly backwards at that speed, no matter what the number is. But luckily, in the beginning, they learned to go up instead of down, so they never learned that strategy, but we have to fix that so it doesn't happen. Okay, I'm done. That was good progress. We'll get more done next stream. Thank you guys for watching and helping and asking questions. I really appreciate it. It makes programming less lonely. It froze for some reason, but anyways, I'm gonna end the recording, right? Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next stream or video. Probably stream, because I'm hoping to do those often. So yeah.